It's 2023 and somehow climate hasn't collapsed yet, and we are playing Etali in cEDH. Yep, you heard correctly. This infected chunky dino is seeing play in cEDH. But the question is how? How can a 7 mana dinosaur be considered in cEDH of all places? Is this our punishment for playing Atraxa and Slicer? If so, I'm sorry, Dino Jesus. Etali Primal Conqueror is a 7 mana 7/7 that has Trample and an ETB effect, where each player exiles cards off the top of their library until they hit a non-land card, and you can cast them all for free. This return on investment looks even better when paired with cards like Curse Mirror, Jaxus, or other copy effects like Twin Flame. This ETB effect is important, but we'll elaborate why near the end of the video. Before we can explain the strengths of Etali, we need to set the context behind Etali's color identity. Etali belongs to a guild that does not have a lot of truly strong or successful cEDH commanders. It's because in Gruul, you have mediocre control and combo options. When it comes to control, Gruul's stack interaction is lacking when compared to the premier color blue. And likewise for stacks options, white is obviously the superior color. And when control is not an option, generally the trend is to beat the table before control can take the momentum through combo. However, the win cons in Gruul are average as decks generally rely on mono red lines like Dualcaster Twin Flame, Teamer Sabertooth combos with Dockside and a payoff, or some poor attempt at a breach line. This is why Gruul has been stuck for the past several years with Rurik Thar, who on their own creates a unique stacks piece that fights the spell slinging meta very well and acts as a viable win con through combat damage. So what does Etali innovate on here? If Rurik Thar pushes Gruul to have better control, Etali pushes you to win. And here are 3 reasons how Etali does this. Etali is a solo combat win con. At minimum, Etali is a 3-turn clock with Trample that can take opponents out if given time. However, we can significantly reduce this clock down to a single turn by converting Etali onto their backside, Etali Primal Sickness, who in a single attack can take players out one by one through poison counters. Now 9 mana and 2 life is a tall order, but this leads us to the second secret to why Etali is uniquely powerful, and it has to do with how Etali interacts with your deck. Yes, this video is more than just dino beats. Etali makes your cards better. But let me explain. It's obvious how Etali provides more value to combo cards like Twin Flame in the Dualcaster Twin Flame combo, or how Etali makes Jeweled Lotus even better the same way Atraxa slurps up ritual cards. But isn't stuffing your deck with velocity cards bad? The most common argument against velocity cards or rituals like Rite of Flame, Seething Song, or even Orcish Lumberjack is that they are situationally good. Rite of Flame is a great turn 1 play into a 2-mana rock, or a mana fixer post Naws. Seething Song is great as Godo mana, or to help re-equip Helm of the Host. And Orcish Lumberjack is great at converting a forest into mana for a Naws turn. Yet in many of the decks these cards are played in, for as many contexts these cards excel in, there are just as many situations where these cards flounder and end up being a terrible top deck. Etali fixes that because they always need mana. You're never sad to see a Seething Song even after Etali is in play, because Etali always has a way to convert extra mana cards into being a lethal dino weapon. This way, Etali improves the context where these cards are useful and improves the draws in your deck. Or a shorter way of saying all of this is Etali always makes sure your rituals are unfair. The last benefit of Etali is the most important one. Etali gives you an infinite combo payoff in the command zone. Going back earlier to our video, we talked about how Gruul's payoffs were limited, and one of them being Teamer Sabertooth with Dockside Extortionist. The fact that Etali gives your deck an A+B, as opposed to needing to find a C to win off of Dockside Sabertooth combo, gives the deck much more potential to win when the opportunity or window arises. Etali also allows you to win with Dockside and Cloudstone Curio, by generating infinite treasures with Dockside with another creature, then infinitely casting Etali and Dockside together to cast every spell from everybody's deck. Lastly, Etali opens up another combo line for Gruul, which is Food Chain, where you can exile Squee the Immortal infinitely to generate infinite mana, then recast Etali and exile it to Food Chain infinitely to cast every spell from everybody's deck again. With all three of these unique benefits Etali brings to Gruul, it's no wonder how a Phyrexian dinosaur can be an apex predator in a land dominated by kobolds. Etali gives you a Gruul deck with strong pivot threats, where your opponents need to navigate between respecting a commander that can beat them in 1 to 3 turns, or yet another deck that can easily win with dockside combos. By managing how you present your threat, you can easily push your opponent into the corner to make the wrong move, and get them with the out they weren't prepared for. If you want to play this commander, I highly recommend mulliganing and playing towards cards like the Lighted Halfling, Destiny Spinner, and Vexing Shusher to protect Etali from counterspells if the table represents a lot of blue. I would also recommend playing cards like Defense Grid or Conqueror's Flail as means to seize a window or protect a win by disrupting counterspells. And because this deck does have easy to assemble A+Bs and means to assemble them, I would play cards like Final Fortune to open up more windows to win the game, or give you that crucial final hit to finish off the last player with a Primal Conqueror. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about the window theory, you should definitely check out this video. If you like playing off-meta decks and hosing copy-paste farm decks, you should watch this video for my meta guide on how to beat tier 1 decks. Also, let me know how you feel about these types of no-frill videos for cEDH theory. Thanks again. Bye!